Yo guys, Nathan here again, and today we're gonna talk about how to make a voice sound evil or demonic. First I need a victim for it. Let's see what we got here.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
Sounds about perfect. Okay, let's make this guy sound totally evil and demonic. It's on the first channel, which is good. You want to normalize on. This is that it makes the volume 100%, so it's not very quiet. As you could have heard, I'll play it again.
For God so loved the world that he...
There's a little background music, and you don't want that in. Like if you put your vocals into hardcore, you don't want that background music from a movie or something. It's pretty hard to get it out totally, but we're going to filter it out a bit with a gate. Same thing as with the kick tutorial. First, you put the frequency. This one has a special frequency thingy. This one is free to download, by the way. And because the voice is usually around 4 kilohertz, you put that around 5k or so. Well, 4k, okay. The attack should be short again. One attack is perfect, not zero attack, because then you will get clicks and pops. And the release, well, it should be a decent amount. You don't want it to cut off too much. Okay, the gate. We're going to play it a bit already. I have to make sure it's long enough. Should be good enough, I guess. Okay, let's listen.
God so loved
Obviously, it's now too much.
his Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
Okay, that's pretty much perfect. As you can hear, there's still some background music behind it, especially when he's talking, but it's really hard to get that out completely anyway. You can even hear it in some professional tracks, like even from a video or so. You could still hear the background music of the movie itself, but he actually managed to make it fit in with the music itself. So that's better to do than trying to get it out completely, but fucking up the vocal that way. Okay, now the trick to make it sound demonic. I'm going to copy it a few times. The trick is to make different pitches. Pitches, yeah. You could have a plugin which does that here, like put different pitches on it in the plugin section, but well, if you have it, that's good. That will save some room here, especially if you have a lot of vocals. But I'm going to just do it this way. This should be clear for everyone. Okay, first trick, of course, if you're going to turn these off. First trick, of course, if you want it to sound darker, you put the pitch down. So 400% should be good, I guess. Let's listen.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son.
Yeah, this sounds a lot more evil now. Okay, second voice. This one we're going to pitch up. Well, let's try also 400%. The thing is, here you will now hear two different voices talking at the same time, and that makes it, well, you will hear it.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son.
Sounds a lot more demonic already. Then we got our third voice, and we're going to put it somewhere in between. I'm not sure yet which way, maybe this way. Let's have a listen.
For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son.
Yeah, it sounds pretty much like the devil is now talking about God. Now the finishing touch. We're going to put some distortion on it. Flat mode off.
For God so loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world.
Yeah, not to condemn the world. Wave shaper. Just for some extra distortion. Also, keep a good eye on the compressor. You don't want the vocal to be compressed too much, but it should also be not so lowly compressed that you can't hear certain parts. So you should install that in the right way. Okay, wave shaper.
For God so loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him.
Yeah. That's the devil talking. Okay, so now you know how to make a demonic voice. See you in the next tutorial.